That's not a comic book. Now that's a comic book.
Alright, let's finish up this week with Trade Talk by talking about Green Lantern Revenge of the Green Lanterns. So this is another one where we get multiple stories. The first one has to do with Mongol and the idea that Hal Jordan's life isn't perfect and that he doesn't have a lot of family left, so he should spend time with the family he has remaining. And it's, you know, him having a reason to go spend more time with Jim and just, you know, enjoy his life because he got it back. In this first story, there's a really cool scene where Green Arrow is out of arrows and Hal, like, shoots a bunch of constructs into his quiver. I'm bad at this. Yeah, shoots a bunch of constructs into his quiver. I really like that. That was a pretty cool idea. And so Oliver's able to use them. And I know it's happened before in the comics, but it just works here. And there's very much a Geoff Johns, like, this is kind of just really symptomatic of his writing of, no, you're playing with the toys wrong, let me put it back right. So, you know, technically this isn't Mongol, this is Mongol's son, and Mongol also had a daughter, and they were like rivals in the comics for a couple years. But Geoff Johns just doesn't want to fucking deal with that, so he just has Mongol become obsessed with Earth, just like his father, and kill his sister so there's only one Mongol. So it's just pressing the reset button, and yeah, Johns is very guilty of that, but what can you do? Then there's a Batman story with the tattooed man called Branded, and it's just Hal and Bruce working out their differences now that Hal's back. And it's a really good character moment in here for Batman. And just Batman and Green Lantern hanging out together is always really funny, no matter who's writing it. But Johns does have a very good sense of their dynamic and how to write Batman so that he can be funny. Like, they're in the Batmobile, and Bruce is like, we're going to be reaching speeds topping 130. Buckle up. I'm wearing the ring. It doesn't get any safer, Bruce. So he just takes off, and Hal smashes his head against the side of the car. It's like, you're funny. I try. I really like that. Just nice. That's just a really funny scene to me. And then, you know, they take down the tattooed man together. That was alright. Cool action. I don't know. Not a huge fan of it. But the really big moment from this issue is, one, for the art of getting to see Batman with the Green Lantern ring on, but Batman putting on the Green Lantern ring, which, there we go. I've got the figure of, it's missing a piece on the symbol, but what can you do? And of course, it comes off the peg. God damn it. Alright, hold on. I know. Thrilling video work. Yeah, it comes off the peg a little bit, but I don't know. I really do enjoy that. It's a really cool concept for an action figure, and I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Just great idea to see Batman as a Green Lantern. It looks great. He's even got the ring on this hand. You can see that little dot right there. Absolutely cool. Fantastic idea. Executed brilliantly. Art looks fantastic in the book. Great thing to see a figure based on it. But there's also like a personal element to it too, which I really like. It's not just like a cheap little, okay, Batman puts on the Green Lantern ring and beats up a bad guy, then gives it back. It's like, that would be the easy thing to do, is give you an action scene with that, but it's actually a personal scene where the idea of feeling and overcoming your tragic past kind of thing. And he ultimately is just on the cusp of being able to do it, but then decides that he doesn't want to. And he's like, no, I don't want to, not yet. thanks anyway. And for the record, I'm glad you're back, Hal. Me too, Bruce. I really like that. Nice, sweet moment. Because Johns obviously gets a lot of crap for having Batman be, not perfect and able to defeat the giant space god in Green Lantern Rebirth, but it's in this issue that we realize it's not really Batman. He'd been corrupted just like everyone else by Parallax. He was incredibly susceptible to that as well. And so, because of how he uses fear. And so this was just a nice way to show that, no, he's past that, and he gets it, and he wants to be friends with Hal again. Then we do this whole 1 year thing, 1 year later thing. I'm not going to get into it. I don't really like a lot of the twists that they do. It's nice to have Hal have a little more experience now. It's nice to get that there. We set up the Sinestro Corps war. Just dealing with Hal's kind of... It's an interesting parallel what they do with Hal, with what he's responsible for, and with what he was responsible for with the destruction of the Green Lantern Corps as Parallax. Again, you have to read Emerald Twilight for any of this to really, really work. And so he's trying to redeem himself in the eyes of others, and so we get like a whole thing with the Cybermen and Cyborg Superman, and he and Guy go to Bayat to try to rescue Green Lanterns. That's really interesting. We get our first look, at least in this run, I think, of the Green Lantern graveyard, and I really like that too. It's just a really unique idea to show how they pay their respects to the fallen lanterns. Yeah, just cool stuff going on in this. They're setting something up, and I'm not even sure if it's related to anything else that happens in this book, unfortunately. Yeah, Hal rescues all the Green Lanterns, and the ones that he killed are mad at him. And that part I don't like, that the ones that he killed as on his rampage to Oa, I do not like that they survived. That is a little too get out of jail free for me. I feel like that's over a line. There should still be consequences, and they're certainly still shitty with him for what he did, regardless of his reasoning behind it. But, I still don't like that. There is some tragedy to him having done that and having it be final. Whether or not he thought he was doing it doesn't really matter. It's the gravity of the action in and of itself that was important. And so ultimately he's still responsible for trying to kill him. He just lucked out that they're alive. But again, that part I don't like. I don't think it does. I think it does. It takes too much away. Arisia, they do some retconning with Arisia that, like, I find really stupid. It was during a war between the Corps and a renegade guardian that I first met the Green Lantern of Sector 2815. Her name was Arisia. I dismissed her as a kid too young to be in the Corps. After all, the rookie told me she was 13. Keeping in mind that they slept together. Or had a relationship of some sort. What I didn't know was that due to the elongated orbit around its two suns, 13 years on Gragox 4 were like 240 on Earth. Just... whatever. It would have just been easier to leave her dead, but whatever. Anyway, Hal and them escape. This trade, I like things about it. I'm not in love with it overall. Just generally. There are things in it that I think are quite cool. Other parts I'm kind of like, whatever. This panel, though. I think Geoff Johns like creamed his pants writing this panel. Because it's just a bunch of the Guardians saying 52. I think he was like, oh my god, everyone will be like, so like, what? And I'll be like, ha ha ha, I'm Geoff fucking Johns. Yeah, overall, Green Lantern Revenge of the Green Lanterns. It's part of his run, but he's still just feeling things out, getting things ready. There are some good things. Yeah, that sentence makes sense. There are some good things in this. It's certainly not something that you should skip. It's just there's some of the silliness and working out the kinks to get the universe the way he wants to be able to play with it. Personally, I like the Mongol story, the two-parter with Mongol, more than I like the Cyborg Superman stuff with Revenge of the Green Lanterns, which is what this trade is named after. And I really like the Batman story. The first half of this is really the part of this trade that I enjoy and why I think it's worth getting. The Revenge of the Green Lantern story arc, however, it's alright. It's okay. It's weird place in continuity and shit, so what can you do? I don't know. I recommend it for the first half, or first 3 issues. Last half is just okay. Read it anyway. Just do yourself a favor and just get that part over with.
That's not a comic book. Now that's a comic book.